Hey, hey! What's happening out there, everyone in YouTube land? It's Friday, and you know what that means. Time for another jam-packed episode of ABW Detonate somewhere up over in here, right here on YouTube. I am the old school AB, being joined once again by the Bard of the Boiler Room, the Deacon of Distressity, the Pontiff of Pain himself, the one and only, Kind Man. Kind Man, how the hell are you today, my friend?
Doing good, just wrapping up another week, headed to the weekend, and feeling good. A SummerSlam weekend.
It is. It's SummerSlam weekend, and we thought we would do a little prediction show for you guys today, kicking it off, and we are recording this prior to SmackDown, but I think we know all the matches already. I just want to kind of get that out there as quickly as possible. Typically, we would record tomorrow morning, but I don't want to record tomorrow morning, and Kind Man is going to be somewhat indisposed. He's chained to a different boiler room, as we say. So,
Well, plus we give people more time to listen.
That's right.
Especially when we're previewing a premium live event. We want to make sure we at least get this out in time. Because people don't want to hear a preview after it happened.
Yeah, you know, I'm like that too. But
by the way, if it has happened, still listen.
Yeah, because it's going to be fun. Why wouldn't you want to?
Because either you could just see how idiotic we were,
right,
or how genius we were in our predictions. And the belt hasn't been on the line in a while. And I actually hope if the perfect scenario happens, and if I can win SummerSlam and get a stroke of good luck, I could even up the championships at 5-5.
Wow. Well, let me tell you, before we
when
talk
I was down
about
4-0, that was a long.
That was a dry spell for you, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me state first of all, if you guys want to join us in the conversation, do so. Hit us up in the link down below. Get on our Discord, or there's a QR code somewhere in the ether up there, or down there, or wherever I put it today. There's a QR code. Get on our Discord and tell me why my predictions suck. I want to hear it. Having said that, I think it's time that we get right into the meat and potatoes. I don't want to waste a lot of time today. I want to get right into it and just talk some wrestling, because SummerSlam is special. And I'm not really sure why they're doing it on Saturday instead of Sunday, but I don't know. Why did they make those moves to PLEs on Saturdays? Some PLEs are on Saturdays and some are on Sundays. It's a mystery to me.
In the summer, I don't get it. Football season, I get it. They're trying to stay away from the behemoth that is the NFL.
Sure.
And by the way, a lot of them now are going to be going to 2 nights. I think SummerSlam next year is 2 nights.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Saturday and Sunday. They're following the WrestleMania model.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make these core 4 even bigger. And maybe that's just setting up by getting people used to tuning in on Saturday, because if we are going to 2 nights for these and stretching it out, just getting people used to devoting a weekend to it.
Yeah. I don't mind that personally. I actually think it's better than, God, do you remember when WrestleMania would last like 11 fucking hours?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Well, I'm just glad this thing isn't in the Middle East. Well, they don't have to remember to watch it in the afternoon.
Let's get into the matches. I'll run them down here and I'll give my predictions. The first match I want to start off with is Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. And you would think that I would pick CM Punk for this match, but I am not picking CM Punk to win this match. I am actually picking Drew McIntyre. It makes more sense for Drew McIntyre to win this match, either, you know, through shenanigans or otherwise. I think he should win the match, because at every turn CM Punk has gotten him. He's been like the fucking Roadrunner to his Wile E. Coyote at every turn, you know. I think it's time that the Coyote gets to eat the Roadrunner for a change, you know, and I think that's what's happening here. Drew McIntyre is going to get a win over CM Punk so they can continue their feud. That's it. Long and the short of it.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked by that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad logic. I'm actually going to go the other way, and as you know, I'm not a big CM Punk fan, but I am going to go CM Punk.
Wow.
And the reason why is kind of exactly what you just said. And I'm gonna use this to in one of the other matches too as we go on this.
Sure.
Is just the pure the storyline of just the pure anger from Drew McIntyre continuing.
Yeah.
The I'm screwed. I always get screwed out of everything. Like, I don't think they've exhausted that yet.
Oh, sure. No, I don't think they have either, but they can still lose the match and get screwed.
Right. So I think that it does continue.
I mean, win the match to get screwed. Yeah.
Drew McIntyre should win, but doesn't.
Yeah.
And it continues the anger in the back room, the I'm the victim, the all of that, because I just think that now CM Punk is back from injury. They're not going to have him lose his first match. So I just think, and by the way, this one could go either way. This is probably one of the toughest ones on the card.
It's a tough one to pick. Yeah,
but it's a fucking coin flip. Like, let's be honest. Like, I wouldn't be surprised either way. But I'm going the angle of they're just making a mad Drew McIntyre, and they're going to continue that until there's a time where he does get the best. But I don't think it's yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I see this as the first of a mini series where Drew wins, but I could totally be wrong.
Oh no, I could absolutely see it. And by the way, you're absolutely right, because it's hard to have a rivalry when someone always wins.
Right. When someone's always getting the upper hand, there's no rivalry. It's just an ass whooping, right?
Yeah. It's like back in the late 90s and early 2000s, they said the Yankees and the Red Sox were the biggest rivalry in sports, but the Yankees, the Red Sox always found the banana peel. So until they won in 2004, it really wasn't a rivalry because the Yankees won every time.
Right. Yeah. In order for it to be a rivalry, two people have to be involved.
Correct. Two people have to be relevant.
Right. Well, I like that. We're off to a good start. We're off 1 for 1 already.
One difference already.
All right, next up, we got Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. And I see LA Knight walking out of SummerSlam as the new United States Championship. I think, I don't want to get into the particulars, but Logan Paul can be somewhat of a liability. As much as he is great to put eyeballs on products, he has a shelf life. And I think we've just seen his shelf life come up. I was there when they cut the big promo in Omaha between him and, LA Knight in the crowd. And God, the people are so far behind LA Knight still that this would really be that big slingshot for him to go into the stratosphere where he needs to be. And I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you here, but I think it's less about Logan Paul and more about LA Knight.
Oh no, you're right. I'm not taking anything away from him. Yeah.
Yeah. My only pause here is, what does that contract look like with the hydration station and the sponsorship?
Wow.
Like, how lucrative is that? And is him having a strap tied to something like that keeps him going? Now, he's an excellent wrestler. He really is. He's very good in the ring.
Oh yeah, Logan, no doubt about it.
But I have been saying, probably since we started this podcast, even beyond, you've heard me say they got to give LA Knight a moment.
Yeah.
Like I'm sick and tired of him losing in every single big match. I do think this is the time. Give him a strap. Give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Let him still confuse us on if he's trying to be The Rock or Stone Cold.
Or both.
But yeah, it's time that LA Knight got something.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So we're both in agreement for that. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Up next, and this was a really tough one for me. I mean, I can make the mental gymnastics to go back and forth on it, but Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship, and I am going to pick Sami Zayn to retain at SummerSlam. Okay. I think there's a bigger story happening. I don't think Braun Breaker is done. To quote Braun Strowman, another Braun, I don't think Braun Breaker is done with Sami Zayn. I think this is just the next part of a bigger story that does end, by the way, with Braun Breaker taking the strap off of him.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it happening here. I think Sami's going to get his SummerSlam moment, and then, I still think,
I went back and forth on this one as well.
Yeah.
This is another coin flip to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in agreement with you here, and here's why. I'm gonna make the same argument I made with the CM Punk Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
They're going to make Braun Breaker even more mad. They're going to continue that storyline.
Yeah, I can see that.
That he's angry, that he's beating people up in the back, that he's pissed, that he's not getting the respect he deserved. I view McIntyre and Breaker as being the same bit.
Yeah. In many ways.
For this. So I think they're going to make them both more mad, both more attacking people in the back room, more claiming they're a victim, more giving the GM a hard time. Like I just think that the Breaker and McIntyre thing is just a parallel.
Drew McIntyre and Braun Breaker now 35% angrier.
They're gonna be on the same team at Survivor Series.
Oh yeah, what are they gonna call them? The Angry Mob?
Yeah, the team. I always get screwed.
Team Temper.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so we're in agreement for that one. Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker. All right. I hope this isn't too predictable, but the next match is going to be Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I got to go with Damian Priest on this one. I think he's keeping the strap tonight. I don't think Gunther is going to win it. Not tonight. I do think they have a PLE coming up in Germany in October, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Or maybe I could be wrong. But I could have sworn there was somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm telling the truth or telling lies. But if they're having a PLE in Germany somewhere this year, and if they are,
I already have one.
I don't think so. Did they?
Yeah, and by the way, he's Austrian anyway.
Well, okay, he's Austrian, right? But I mean, I'm not trying to say. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. I think that. You're going to look it up, Kaiman. Our crack research staff.
Well, I'm not going to look it up. I'm sending a note to the people in the back.
Okay, you're going to send a note to the people in the back. All right. Anyways, I just thought that if there was going to be a PLE, he would challenge for the world title there if he was going to be in Germany or Austria, depending on when their schedule was going to come up. Yeah. But if not, then I mean. I don't see Gunther winning the world championship just yet. I mean, I guess I just don't. It's interesting for him to challenge for it, but he hasn't. Since he lost the Intercontinental Championship, he doesn't look naked or anything. It's just Gunther. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. I'm rambling. Go ahead, Kaiman. Take it over.
Yeah, so we're going to have our second disagreement here. Okay. I'm going to go Gunther.
Okay.
I'm going to go Ring General.
All right.
And my reason, my thought process has less to do about Gunther as it does about Damian Priest and the Judgment Day.
Okay, you're going to break up the Judgment Day again.
I have been predicting the end of the Judgment Day for quite some time. And I am going to say it happens tomorrow.
We're going to dig that skeleton up, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna die on the hill of the Judgment Day will blow up at some point. I think I think the Carlito and Head Detective and everything going on with Dominic and Rhea coming back and everything, I think it's all set up to blow up at SummerSlam. So it's less about Gunther, it's more about the Judgment Day. And I believe Gunther, and by the way, we said this when WrestleMania came, and we both predicted Sami Zayn, I think, to beat Gunther.
Yeah.
Because we just said it's time to get him in the main, it's time to give him the big strap.
We did, yeah.
And so I'm gonna give him the big strap. And as I said, to me, it's more about a Judgment Day storyline than this. And also, by the way, please, as Avi said earlier, join us on Discord, because if anything does happen tonight on SmackDown that makes any of us change any of these, we are allowed to change tonight. Like if something on the show tells us we want to change, I don't foresee that. I think we kind of already know kind of where all these are going.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change any prediction of anything that's not on SmackDown. But if something happens tonight that makes me think otherwise, we'll put it in the chat, and we'll go from there. But as of right now, pre-SmackDown, we have our second disagreement.
That's right. Now we only need just one more to make this thing
make it
copacetic.
Clear and obvious. And by the way, I don't care. We could have even numbers, because tie goes to the champ.
The champ always wins the draw, right? Next up,
that's the beauty of having this strap.
Right.
I don't have to worry about winning it. I just have to worry about not losing it.
You're going to have to worry about walking it down to the post office here next week, buddy.
No. That sinking moment that you realize the shipping costs of that belt costs more than the belt costs. That's when it really comes full circle to me.
Yeah. Up next, we have Bayley versus Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship. And in this one, I've got Bayley only because I see a bigger storyline looming between her and Tiffany Stratton. And I don't think Tiffany Stratton cashes in Money in the Bank tomorrow night at SummerSlam. I think, they save that spot for Survivor Series, perhaps. But I think, Tiffany will cash in on Bayley at some point. I think she will take the strap off of Bayley, and that will be the story leading into WrestleMania of next year. But, I could totally be wrong. Kind Man, what do you think?
Yeah, so I'm hoping you're wrong there, because we also have a side bet that, because I did win Money in the Bank, that I get an extra slash on the belt if Tiffany Stratton cashes in.
That's correct.
And wins.
That's correct. That's why I'm not predicting it.
If I can win SummerSlam and have Tiffany cash in on Bayley, and I am predicting Bayley as well, so we have that in common.
Okay.
But what I do feel is a real possibility for Tiff to cash in tonight is the ending of the Nia Jax Tiffany Stratton relationship.
Yeah.
So if Bayley beats Nia and then Tiffany swoops in and steals the belt, now all of a sudden you have Nia Jax Tiffany Stratton, and that's Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Okay. So as much as they keep force feeding Nia Jax into the main storyline and not having her win, I think that is a awesome storyline that maybe plays out, to your point, at Survivor Series. I'm hoping it plays out tomorrow night, and Tiffany Stratton walks out the champion. But I do have Bayley defeating Nia Jax. I just don't. It's just too early for Bayley to lose that way.
Right.
I think when you lose via Money in the Bank, I think you almost get a pass for losing. But I don't see her just getting beaten one-on-one.
Right. Okay, up next, and this one mired in controversy somewhat. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. And in this instance, I have to say that Liv Morgan is probably going to win the match and retain. I didn't say beat Rhea Ripley. I said win the match and retain the Women's Championship. And I think she's going to do it either wittingly or unwittingly from a certain Dom's hands. By the way, what do you think Dominic would prefer to have? Would he like to have Rhea Ripley? Would he like to have Liv Morgan? Or do you think he's going to choose them nuggies, them chicken nuggies?
I will say this. This is the easiest one of the night for me.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan it's the first match I circled. I don't think there is any way in hell Liv Morgan loses this match. Yeah. And I will go extreme with you on here is saying this is the turn for Dominic.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Dominic is going to be the reason Liv wins, and it's going to be wittingly. He is actually going to screw over.
So you think he's going to do it? He's not going to make that like it's an accident at first, right?
No.
You don't think so? He's not going to try to play it off.
This is going to be a clear turn.
A clear violation.
He is sick of the Judgment Day, pushing him around, telling him what to do, all these things. And this is, when you think about Dominic Mysterio and how unlikable a character he has been, even though Liv is kind of like the heel here, and I actually think they're doing face turns for Priest and Rhea Ripley.
Oh, I do too, definitely.
At the same time.
Oh yeah, totally.
But I think in a way, this is going to be a face turn, even if he's with the heel for Dominic, where it's just going to be, hey, it's too much for me. I'm sick and tired of you guys telling me what to do. This gorgeous blonde is into me, and fuck off. I think that's really what it's going to be. I think Dominic is going to cost Rhea Ripley, and this is to me the big blow up of the Judgment Day. I think Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest don't need Carlito and Finn Balor and Big Head Boy. They're just going to say, the hell with you guys. There's going to be a faction with Damian Priest and Rhea.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the new Judgment Day. And maybe they add people, maybe they don't. But this is the breakup. This is it. I've been predicting it for years, but it happens tomorrow.
We will find out. Tune in to SummerSlam.
Disappointed. I wanted you to pick Rhea.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Well, you might be really disappointed in me because of my next pick. The last match on the card, I believe, is Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. And if you don't know who I'm voting for at this point, folks, you haven't watched the show. Cody Rhodes is obviously going over Solo Sikoa here. And I don't know, there's a lot of people who are going to make, pretend like, Roman Reigns is going to come back. And he may not. But I wouldn't make that kind of a prediction.
No.
But Cody is my pick.
You better be careful, because just a black cat just walks by.
I know.
Time you made your prediction.
Yeah. He's the Batman, by the way. That's his name is Batman. For all of you out there who didn't know.
There's two Batmans. I see Adam West that always brings a smile on my face right behind you.
Yep.
And the kitty Batman.
That's right. Good old kitty cat. Mr. Batman makes an appearance on ABW. Usually it's Bird. My other kitty cat. Usually it's her jumping up there and wanting some love. But anyways, did you give your prediction for Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa?
I'm going to stick with Cody as well.
Okay.
I just don't know what they're doing with Solo right now. I think they're actually propping up some of the people around him more than him. Although they're calling him the head of the table, and he's, self-proclaiming all of that stuff. And yes, there's Roman's going to come back. I think Roman and The Rock are going to come back as a face turn together to reclaim the bloodline from these. You know what I always thought would be better than that? Instead of The Rock and Roman coming back in, just make it Roman and the Usos who come back together, right? Yeah.
But leave The Rock out of it. And when The Rock comes back, he actually chooses the new bloodline over the old one. I think that would be far more interesting.
That works for me too. I just don't think Rock wants to be a heel again. I think that was almost kind of forced on the WrestleMania thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just think that I actually think, yes, the Usos, Roman and The Rock, will come back and face this new. And by the way, Survivor Series.
Right. That's what I think you'll see it.
Like how perfect is that? That's a Survivor Series match.
Oh, I think so too. That's what I think you'll see it.
So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I just don't see Cody losing at this point.
No.
If I did see him losing, I would see it to further the Solo Sikoa storyline, but I just don't see it happening.
Well, here's the thing: Solo doesn't need the title.
Right. No. Bullies don't need titles.
No, not at all.
The same way you said with Drew McIntyre, or even just Gunther. You don't need a title to be a bully. Braun Breaker doesn't need the title to be a bully. So that, no bullies. No bullies at SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. The pool is now bully free, everybody.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Geez, these titles for episodes write themselves.
Oh, boy. Are there any other thoughts or predictions that you have for SummerSlam before we wrap this little prediction show up for the folks?
I think I've covered them. I do think there's a real chance Tiffany Stratton cashes in tonight or tomorrow. I really do. Just because if they want to draw... You talk about anger. We talked about anger with Drew McIntyre. We talked about anger with Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Okay? You want to make Nia Jax angry? Have her eat a pin and have her skinny little blonde friend steal the belt. Okay? We're going to have anger. Nia Jax is going to be beating people up in the back room. Braun Breaker is going to be... So I'm going for all back room, not on camera, just bullying.
Nia Jax
for SummerSlam.
Nia Jax will be the new Murder Hawk monster.
Yeah, Braun Breaker, Drew McIntyre, and Nia Jax running roughshod.
That's a stable. I think you should be a writer for WWE. You should make them a stable. Call them the haters.
Just the angry losers.
Oh, he's a loser, but he still keeps on trying. All right. All right. Well, I want to wrap this thing up then. It's a nice short episode. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
If you guys have any extra thoughts or you guys want to share anything with us, like we said before, don't be a jabroni. Get down there and drop an elbow on that subscribe button. And if you're feeling extra saucy, frog splash over to that little thumbs up emoji. We would appreciate it. And if you can't get enough ABW, head over to our Discord server, link in the description below. QR code is up there somewhere. I don't know. It's all technology, all that jazz. Once again, thank you all so much. We'll see you right here next time for another banger after banger after banger. So long, everybody.